Hello, my name is Dr. Yaya Sissoko, Professor of Economics, Department of Finance and Economics, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Today, we're going to talk about Chapter 6, Human Capital. This video is about the school model and education earnings. So what is the schooling model? So more education is associated with lower unemployment rate and higher earnings. So why don't all workers have doctorate or professional degree? In other words, what motivates some students to stay in school for over 20 years while others drop out before they finish high school? We begin our analysis of this important question by assuming that students acquire the education level that maximizes the present value of lifetime earning. Education, therefore, is valued only because it increases earnings. A college education obviously affects utility in many other ways. So we're going to focus on real earnings adjusted for inflation. Age, earnings profile, the wage profile over a worker lifespan. The higher the discount rate, the less likely someone will invest in education since they are less future oriented. The discount rate depends on couple of things: the market rate of interest and time preferences. So which considered as how a person feel about giving up today consumption in return for future reward. Let's now focus on the way schooling locus. So the salary firms are willing to pay workers depend on the level of schooling. So the properties of the way schooling locus focuses on three main things. The first one, the way schooling locus is upward sloping, positively slope. So the higher the level of education, the higher the earning. The slope of the wage schooling locus indicates the increase in earnings associated with an additional year of education. The third one is the way schooling locus is concave, reflecting diminishing return to schooling. Concave like this. This is concave, a concave curve. Let's now focus on the graph of the way schooling locus. So the graph of the way schooling locus show the salary that employers are willing to pay for every level of schooling. The way schooling locus give the salary that a particular worker would earn if he completed a particular level of schooling. For instance, if the worker graduated from high school after 12 years, he will earn $20,000 annually. He's going to earn $20,000 annually. If he goes to college for 1 year, 13 years of schooling, he's going to earn 23,000 for 13 years in school. 23,000. If you go to college for 2 years, 14 years, he's going to earn 25,000. If you completed 18 years of school, his annual salary will raise to 30,000. So we can see that so the wage schooling locus curve is concave. It's concave with diminishing return. Let's now focus on the schooling decision. Because the way schooling locus is concave, the marginal rate of return must decline as the student gets more schooling. For instance, the marginal rate of return of the second year of college is only 8.7%, a $2,000 return on a 23 investment. For each additional year of schooling, generated a smaller salary increase because of the law of diminishing return. And it costs more to stay in school the more educated the workers. Therefore, the marginal rate of return curve is a diminishing function of the level of schooling. So we can see that the marginal rate of return schedule give the marginal rate of return to schooling, or the percentage increase in earning resulting from an additional year of school. A worker maximizes the present value of lifetime earnings by going to school until the marginal rate of return to schooling equal the rate of discount. A worker with discount rate R goes to school for S star years. You can see that it will maximize its lifetime earning at R, where it go to school for S star. And then the marginal rate of schooling is, or the marginal rate of return is negatively sloped because of the law of diminishing return. The graph about schooling and earning when workers have different rate of discount. In panel A, we can see that R has a higher, so discount rate R than BO R, and R complete only 11 years of schooling at this discount rate, while BO completed 12 years of schooling at R. And then we can see that BO will graduate from high school, and R will drop out. So I will choose PAR. So with the wage dropped after 11 years of schooling, and BO will choose PBO with the wage WHS with 12 years of schooling. So therefore, the observed data on wages and schooling trace out the common wage schooling locus of the worker. Focus on the graph of schooling and earnings when workers have different abilities. On panel A, Ace and Bob have the same discount rate R, but faces different wage schooling locus. At R, Ace completed only 11 years of schooling. At R, Bob completed 12 years and graduated from high school. So The wage rate differential between BAB and ACE, so WH for BAB and W drop, so WH minus W drop, so you can see WH for BAB and W drop for W drop for ACE rises because BAB goes to school 1 more year, 11 years for ACE and 12 years for BAB, and because BAB is more able. As a result, this wage differential does not tell us by how much ACE earning would increase. If it were to complete high school, W ACE minus W drop. If ACE were to complete in high school, then it would earn W ACE, and then the different wage would be WH minus W drop, which can be seen on panel B. So on panel B, the impact of this decision on post-earning, note that BAB wage schooling locus lie above, and it's steeper than the one for ACE because BAB is more able. BAB will choose point P BAB for 12 years and graduate from high school and is wage schooling locus and earn WHS and dollars, and ACE would choose P ACE on his wage schooling locus. ACE will go to school for 11 years and earn W drop. Finally, let's talk about education and the wage gap. There are two main issues with respect to education and the wage gap. The first one is observed data on earnings and schooling does not allow us to estimate returns to schooling because more able persons tend to get more education. The second issue is about ability bias. The extent to which unobserved abilities differences exist affect estimate on return to schooling, since the ability difference may be the true source of the wage differential. This is the end of the video about the school model and education earning. Next time we'll talk about estimating the rate of return to schooling. Thank you.